Welcome back to Living with a Classic, and I'm here with something quite special, but you might be wondering, well, what's so special about that? It's a white XJS HE, looks like mid-80s. Nothing too special, they're not really rare. Well, they're rare when they look like this. Original, unrestored. This thing has 22,000 miles on it, which is about 36,000 kilometers. It's immaculate. That's really the only way I can describe it. It drives like a brand new car. It feels like a brand new car. I think it's the closest I'll probably ever get to experiencing what one of these was like when it was brand new. So let's have a look around it. We'll talk a little bit about it, take it for a brief drive, and feel what a 22,000 mile XJS really looks like. If you saw a video on my channel a while back when I was at the Swedish Jag Club summer meet, you saw this car in the background in the Concours. It won the XJS class Concours, and well, I know why. It's immaculate. It is white with a gold stripe here and a biscuit interior. And just everything is just completely gorgeous on it. Look down the sides, not a ding, not a dent, nothing. Doors and everything fit beautifully. Inside, it hardly looks like anyone's sat in it. I mean, these all usually have wear marks here, and you got wear over here from having to take this thing off. If you take the door panel off, you remove this, and usually you scratch this up. Seats are, I mean, not even any marks from entering or exiting the vehicle. Headliner is new. This car it's new. So just, I mean, have a look in here. When was the last time you saw an XJS that wasn't restored that looks like that? All the wood is in excellent condition. Nice and dark, as it should have been from new. We'll release the bonnet. Have a look in there in a little bit. We'll start in the boot. Doors and everything shut the way they're supposed to. All the badges still have the silver on them. I just have the battery cover off because I always leave batteries disconnected when I'm at my house. In here, it's just like brand new. Everything is as it should be. These screws are not supposed to be painted. They're supposed to look like that. It is a fantastic time capsule. If you're new to my channel, you might not be aware that I deal mainly in these cars. It's what I do for a living right now. Work on V12 Jags. So I'm very familiar with these, and I've seen many over the years, and I've driven, I don't know how many I've driven now. It's a lot, but I haven't seen one as untouched as this one. The red XJS convertible I have has about twice the miles of this one, and I thought that was really low mileage, which it is. I mean, 40,000 miles is really low, but this is something else. Looking in here, everything is really original as it should be. When it runs later, you'll notice it is nice and quiet. There are a couple things. I know the new owner pretty well. It just changed hands, and that's why it's with me, because he wanted me to go through the car. And well, we need fuel hoses. They're original. They're tight at the moment, and it needs just like a service and a few other things. Otherwise, it runs pretty amazingly. Let's grab the keys. And let's just fire it up. Let's see, I haven't actually done a hot start on this thing before, just the cold start. And also the ignition lock, it's nice and tight. Silky smooth. Just as it should be. The only thing I think this thing needs, talk to the owner, I think we just need a set of plugs. Don't know exactly how old they are. but we were missing slightly on one cylinder when it was cold. But now it's pretty good when it's warmed up. Nice and silky smooth. So I'll set up the camera and we'll just go for a brief little test drive in a 22,000 mile XJS. So what does it drive like? It drives like a brand new XJS. That's basically what it is. Everything is tight, all the controls, like the indicators and everything, nice and tight. The only thing not really working at the moment is the AC. Well, it works a little bit, but he said it lost a little bit of gas, so that will be a future thing. Just, you know, why I have this one at the moment. Went to the summer meet. I know the previous owner of the car, and I also know the current owner. So they struck a deal during the summer meet of the car, but they did not know each other. So I became sort of the middle person because the new owner is a customer of mine. So they asked if I could have the car and the keys until, you know, the money transferred and everything like that. And I said yes, of course. And then that happened a couple of days ago. And then the new owner called me and he said he wanted me just to go through the car, just a light service. I think we're going to do plugs and a couple of things on it, and for me to make a list of what I think it needs in the upcoming year, some small things, and then he's going to pick it up in about a week's time and go and enjoy it. So absolutely lovely thing to drive. It's keeping perfect temperature. Oil pressure is great. Meeting a Tesla here. Wonder what they think. But yeah, if you've driven lots of XJSs, you know that it can either be the most fantastic car you've ever driven, or it can be utterly terrible if you're not running correctly. This thing is smooth. It shifts very nicely. The steering is nice and tight. It's running on the correct Pirelli tires, and just everything is just really nice and tight. I know I said that several times, but that's really the best way to describe it. No squeaks and rattles, nothing like that. So these cars, unmolested and in good shape like this, are really fantastic. It really makes you think of how amazing they must have been when new. So let's go out on a little bit of a bigger road here and get up to a little bit of speed and make sure it feels nicely at highway speeds as well. Let's do a light acceleration test here to see that it pulls as it should. And it responds very well. And shift in the top. Yeah, let me just close the window a bit. Otherwise, it's whisper quiet in here. And it's pulling like a train. Really running as it should. It's a slight, tiny hesitation. They're idle, which I think is just an old plug, but once you're up speed, it is running wonderfully. I'm going to head back home now and call the owner, let me know what I think it needs. It's just a mini service, some plugs, and in the near future, of course, some fuel lines, which is always really important on these cars. But if he wants to enjoy it for a weekend or two before winter gets here, we can definitely do that. And then I'll probably come back later in the winter and fix a couple of those small things. But if you get a chance to, if you've never driven an XJS, get the chance to drive a nice one. Sorted ones they drive like nothing else in the world. It's a comfortable big car, which is small on the inside, so very cozy, yet even with today's traffic and today's cars, it's quick. It might not be massive horsepowers, but it's a lot of torque, and that is very hard to beat. Anyways, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with friends. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. It really does help out a lot. Until next time, I'm Adam. This was Living with a Classic. I'll see you soon.